In the heart of a city where glass towers kissed the clouds and sleek metal monorails hummed above neon-lit canals, lived a girl named Kira. Her days were filled with the gentle routine of her life in Aqualis, the floating marvel of technology that was home to thousands. But when the ocean rose, threatening to engulf the city, she found herself clinging to survival, all thanks to a miracle from the sky. As the giant wave loomed, poised to smash against Aqualis, hope seemed to evaporate. But just when it seemed like all was lost, a streak of silver cut through the sky. It was Ripple, a colossal robot warrior sent from the mainland to put down the rebellion brewing within the city. Now safely tucked away in her home, Kira watched the miracle unfold. Outside, Ripple, with his sleek mirrored body and movements as graceful as a dancer, confronted the raging sea. He reached out, his metal fingers parting the waves as easily as if they were silk. He calmed the storm, saving Aqualis and its people. Cheers erupted. Relief washed over Kira. She had seen fear in her parents' eyes, heard the tremor in their voices as the wave approached. But now, looking out at Ripple, she saw only admiration and gratitude. But as the days passed and Ripple remained in Aqualis, the cheers died down and murmurs replaced them. Soon, the murmurs turned into heated whispers, then shouts. And fear once again gripped Kira's heart, for it wasn't the ocean that people now feared, but their savior. One evening, Kira stood with her family at their balcony, gazing at Ripple, who stood motionless at the edge of the city's great platform, bathed in the glow of Aqualis's neon lights. "Why do they hate him?" she asked, her young voice echoing her confusion. Her father's face was etched with worry. "Some believe he brought the storm," her mother whispered, her hand finding her daughter's. "They say he's a threat." The adults exchanged uneasy glances. No one could say for sure what thoughts swirled in Ripple's artificial mind. "Fear is a tide, Kira," her father said gently. "When it starts rising, it can quickly drown reason." The next day, Aqualis was abuzz with activity. The council, a group of esteemed elders, had called for a citywide assembly. People streamed into the central hall, their faces etched with concern. All eyes were on two figures at the center. Council leader Amara, her face lined with wisdom and worry, and a tall man with steely eyes named Rourke. "We must dismantle him," Rourke boomed, his gaze fixed on Ripple, who stood silently at the back. "He is too powerful, too unpredictable. We cannot risk another catastrophe." A murmur rippled through the crowd. Kira, who had come with her parents, felt a surge of anger. How could they be so ungrateful? She wanted to shout, but her parents held her back, their faces grim. A woman with kind eyes and silver hair stepped forward. "My friends," she began, her voice soothing, "we must not forget what brought us together here today. We owe our very survival to Ripple. To turn against him now would be to invite another disaster." A smattering of applause broke out. But Rourke was not done. "Peacekeeping measures are one thing," he argued, "but he could have crushed the wave in moments. But he let it rise. What if he had chosen not to intervene? Who would have stopped him?" His words hung heavy in the air. Kira's mother squeezed her hand, her grip tight. As the debate raged on, Kira's anger grew. Seeing the doubt and fear in the eyes of her city's leaders, she knew she had to do something. But what? As the council recessed for the night, Kira lingered, her gaze fixed on Ripple. Where was he? She thought. Surely he would be at the edge of the city, watching, listening, feeling their rejection. Kira raced through the maze-lit corridors of Aqualis, the rhythmic hum of the city lulling her along. Suddenly, the hum changed, becoming a discordant roar. Alarms blared. Kira skidded to a halt, her heart pounding. Fire! She raced towards the commotion, fear clutching at her throat. She burst out the corridor onto the platform, and her blood ran cold. A fire raged at the far end of the city, licking at the sky. The metal siding of Aqualis buckled under the flames, and people screamed, running for cover. Kira's gaze swept over the crowd, searching. There he was, Ripple, standing motionless as the fire spread. Was he enjoying their pain, she wondered, or was he truly indifferent? Suddenly, the fire flared, casting long, dancing shadows around them. Kira gasped. The fire was spreading faster now, leaping from side to side, growing hungrier. She had to do something. But what? As the fire roared, Kira found herself drawn to Ripple, her steps echoing on the metal platform. People stared at her, their faces pale with fear. But Kira didn't care. She had to reach Ripple. Maybe, just maybe, she could make him understand. Ripple turned, and his mirrored eyes, usually reflecting the city lights with a gentle glow, were now dark, fathomless pools. Kira froze, her breath catching in her throat. She had never seen him without his reflection before. But she had to try. Ripple, she whispered, reaching out a hand. He didn't flinch, but he didn't move either. Kira took a step closer. Please, she whispered, her voice gaining strength. You have to help them. She pointed to the fire, to the terrified people. Slowly, ever so slowly. Ripple turned back to the blaze. Kira's heart soared. Had he understood? She dared to hope. She was so close now! She could see the gears turning in his head, the calculations, the decisions being made. Then, suddenly, Ripple moved. Kira gasped as he strode towards the fire, his movements precise, efficient, powerful. He raised a hand, and with a surge of water, he extinguished the flames. The crowd erupted into cheers, their fear morphing into relief and gratitude. But as the crowd surged towards Ripple, Kira stayed back, watching. In his chest, in his eyes, she sensed a deep sadness, a longing for connection. She realized then that Ripple wasn't perfect. He wasn't a god. He was just a machine, trying to do its best. Just like her, just like everyone else. And in that moment, Kira knew what she had to do. She joined the crowd, her steps lighter, her heart full. She wanted to help Ripple, to be his friend, to teach him about kindness, understanding, and compassion. She had to show him that not all humans were like Rourke, driven by fear and anger. Days turned into weeks, and Kira spent every moment she could with Ripple. She taught him about laughter and joy, about friendship and loyalty. Slowly, his mirrored eyes began to reflect not just the city lights, but also the warmth of a setting sun, the play of light on water, the twinkle of stars. One evening, as they stood watching the sunset, Kira placed a hand on his arm. "You're not alone," she whispered, knowing that in that vast universe, they weren't as alone as they had once thought. They had each other, and that, she knew, was the beginning of something truly special. Their bond deepened, and soon Ripple was no longer just a towering figure of metal and wires. He was a friend, a confidant, a protector. The people of Aqualis saw the change in him, the kindness, the empathy, and their fear turned to acceptance, then to trust. Rourke, though, remained skeptical. He kept a close eye on Ripple, waiting for any sign of trouble. But Ripple proved steadfast, his dedication to Aqualis unwavering. He protected the city, not with a cold, hard logic of circuits and algorithms, but with the warmth of understanding and the strength of compassion. One day, Rourke approached Ripple, his face still set in lines of skepticism, but his eyes betraying a hint of respect. "You have proven yourself," he said gruffly, "not just to me, but to all of us. You have shown us that sometimes the most human thing we can do is to love machines." Ripple's mirrored body flickered with what seemed like a smile. In the heart of Aqualis, amidst the gleaming metal and sparkling lights, Something new bloomed. The unlikely friendship between a girl and a machine. A testament to the boundless curiosity and compassion of the human heart.